Hi, it's Ted again. You know, God is. And we hear all this talk today about the division of church and state in the United States of America and the First Amendment, where we have the freedom of religion, expression, etc. And on all of our money, we have In God We Trust, we have God on our buildings, our laws, we have public prayers to God, even the Congress is opened with prayer. Our elected officials are sworn in on Bibles, and they raise their hand and say, "So help me God." Every time a president ends their speech, they say, "God bless America." So God, the thought, permeates this particular society in a way that more than any other country, except for Muslims. This is interesting. The funny thing about this, folks, is the first law of the United States of America, born July 2nd, 1776, has as its central figure God, known as the Creator, nature's God, the Judge of all the earth, divine providence. God is the central character of our first law. And this is where I think yes, I believe that there is a certain wiggle room between church and state separation, a little bit, yes. But there is no separation of church, there's no separation of God and state, particularly this United States, because our first law includes it. Therefore, what's the problem? The problem is we Americans, we the people, we have not fully acknowledged our God. We try to do things on His behalf, but we don't include Him. We don't include Him in our conversation as though He's not here. And so subsequently, God, the Great Spirit, cannot work on our behalf and help us because we don't know God. However, you look at the Muslim community. They have a mission, and it's for their God, and they are committed to that. And they recognize that their, what they call religious polity, is not just about religion, it's a spiritual things. It's about government control and controlling of nations. America, we have a similar relationship with our God that they have. And therefore, do not be ashamed, do not be afraid to include God in everything that we now do. And don't feel that, well, I'm not righteous enough, I have a messed up life, who am I to talk about God? We don't talk about God because we're righteous. We talk about God because we are unrighteous, because we do need His power and His help. And if we do not acknowledge our God and rely on His help, then the people who do have spiritual power will defeat us. They keep saying this mess in the Middle East is about economics. People have jobs. That's not true. It's a religious ideology that we're dealing with. And we Americans are going to have to stop thinking that it's about economics and those kinds of things. No, it's about our beliefs, what we say is and isn't. And of course, for being that this United States is a self-professed Judaic Christian nation, Christian meaning Jesus Christ or Yeshua Mashiach, who is the King, therefore the only person whom we U.S. citizens bow to. Our Jewish brothers and sisters, they don't bow to Jesus as King, but they have learned to respect Him in this Judaic Christian society. So to ignore what the first law of our land has instructed us is suicide. If we don't stand up and speak of God, He won't stand up for us either.